You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire youth wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Wanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
Together we are
Rope Break.
How's every single one of you? Welcome. And we're going to be talking about NXT UK, so we're really excited. You know, finally, we got an absolutely great championship match between Meiko Satomura and Kaylee Ray. And actually, we have a brand new women's champion. So, like, a really great episode of NXT UK. We wanted it. A lot of people. Jean-Paul is just really, really excited. He cannot wait to keep talking about this thing because absolutely, it was an absolutely great match. And Kaylee Ray, the forever champion, is no longer champ.
Yeah, you know, this was a great episode of NXT UK. The preliminary matches, okay, you know, you're setting some stuff up for the, upcoming weeks, but really, we wanted the main event, and they gave us a fantastic match. You know, there's only really two matches that come into mind I wish had crowd. This match, and then the one with Ilya Dragunov and Walter. I feel like the crowd would have really been into it. You know, it was a lot of back and forth, just a lot of, moments that you get into it. You know, if you're cheering for Kaylee Ray or Meiko, they had you on your edge of your seat. And this was a great main event, and I think the right winner, in a hell of a match. So. Oh,
yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing what we're going to be talking about to you. So don't forget to support us, family. Thank you also to the ones that do every single time. Thank you for the great reception of the Monday Night Raw review with Jean-Paul Egg. We love it. Also, thank you for this love for the NXT review. Adam Cole is ready to regain the belt at NXT Takeover in your house. What do you think, Paul? Fatal far away, according to you. Maybe too many Chiefs, not many Indians here, but everybody's waiting for this. It's probably one of the greatest cards so far in 2021 that NXT has given us.
Yeah, this was a go-home show for In Your House. I'm looking forward to a lot of the matches. LA Knight, Cameron Grimes, ladder match, $1 Million Championship. Ember Moon of Raquel Gonzalez. That match is going to be good. Ember Moon's finally in the singles division where, she should be, even though I think she's going to go back to tag as soon as this feud's over and, Shotzi comes back. But, the main thing we're talking about here is the Fatal 5-Way. Like you said, I think it's too many, cooks in the kitchen, too many people involved in this match. I wish it would have been an elimination, but that maybe would have made it even longer. I don't know. But, Adam Cole, as legit as he is, I think Karrion's going to retain because of how many people, but don't be surprised if Adam Cole maybe, sneak this one and we get Karrion on the main roster.
Era, will regain the title, it seems. We're going to see, family, but before we go in depth, thank you so very much for the subscriptions. Don't forget to keep doing so. We're we're 22 away from the first 1,000, so please help us out. Watch this video, love it. Just give us a subscription, family. Walter. Finally, he was found. Remember that for weeks we didn't know where he was. Last time that he was on NXT UK, it was NXT. And what was that pay-per-view? Prelude, yes, against them with a match with Rampage Brown. So ever since then, we actually saw him in Zoom calls, they were talking about to Imperium. Not really what we want to see in a champion, but finally he's back to NXT UK and he addressed the audience. Just saying that he defended the championship in 2 different continents, 2 different days. I don't know how he did it. Well, we know how he did it. But then, more of the same kind of hey, I'm the most dominant champion in the WWE. And, I'm just still waiting for who's going to be the next challenger. What did you think?
Yeah, this was good. And before this, you kind of saw what happened at the end of last week's show, the stare down between Dragunov, Rampage Brown, Joe Coffey, which led right into this. This was a good promo by Walter. Like we said, we're glad to see him finally back. But, the one line that stuck out for me, he's like, I'll be, forever the NXT UK champion. And I'm like, isn't that Kaylee Ray's line? So we can't have two forever. We can't have 2 forever champions. So
I don't have enough creativity.
Yeah. So I'm like, one of them might be losing tonight. So we're only gonna have 1 forever champ. But this was a pretty good promo from Walter. At least he's back. And he says, I'm going to restore honor to this great sport and everything. He's probably the most legit guy in wrestling right now. It's just a shame we haven't seen him on this show, but that doesn't take anything away from him in the ring and how he presents.
We gotta delete, we gotta erase, the match with Tommaso Ciampa and NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver, and we're good. We're good. We're good because after that, everything is being great.
You're gonna probably get a lot of heat from that. Whenever everybody loved it, we were in the minority of being like,
I'm always in the minority, so that's fine. And there's been such a bad heat waves, here, in the United States of America. So that's fine. We're absolutely ready for it. So now tell me about it. This is gonna be the main event. So we're actually waiting for it. It's gonna be amazing. Meiko Satomura, like we said with Kaylee Ray. So this was actually good. Like, there's still to come. And then, Subculture. We got to see like Danny Luna, Flash Morgan Webster, Mike Andrews just talking about how they're always being put down, all of that. More of the same, but like they're actually saying that they're going to have a match next week. Another intergender. I know you're not a big fan of those, but I mean, like, at least it makes sense because it's a rivalry that they have between the two. So it's going to be Jeannie when Joseph Connors against Danny Luna and Flash Morgan Webster. So your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I really don't like them is because when the man is in, the other man has to be in. You don't ever see the men and the women mix it up, which is probably a good thing, but I feel like it kills a lot of momentum. When like the one person has momentum, they'll tag out, and then it's like, so now I have to go out too. You know what I mean? So I just don't like them, but this should be good for hopefully getting Subculture over. We'll have to see what they do with this feud. If it's like a cheating win by the heels and you do something else, I don't know, but we'll see. NXT UK usually gives us pretty good stuff, so I'll just have to wait and see.
You always like you said, like they always follow through. At least everything makes sense. That's the one thing that we never criticize about this show. We have Dynamite for that. You have Monday Night Raw for that. So Saxon Huxley, Paul with Jordan Devlin, he's back. The Ace is back in NXT UK. Remember last time we saw him also take over, stand and deliver, and that's when like he lost to Santos Escobar the Cruiserweight Championship, but now he came back last week. He said, hey, he wants his own dressing room. He got that. He wants to be part of the Supernova Sessions. He got that. So everything that the Ace wants, the Ace gets. So, like, unfortunately, Saxon Huxley just the biggest jobber in pro wrestling because he loses absolutely to everybody. He's the Brian Myers of this generation. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Saxon Huxley, he started out good. They're saying, oh, maybe Devlin's rusty. He hasn't wrestled in a while. We don't know. But then Devlin, he took over. He got, the momentum. And when I saw, Saxon Huxley, I thought, maybe he's going to beat up a jobber in 2 minutes. And then, because he was out first. And I thought, get a good win for him. But no, then when Devlin came out, like you said, Devlin's like, I mean, he's clearly bigger than this. But it's, when you're looking at him in the ring, he looks almost half the size of Saxon Huxley. And it's, for Huxley to keep losing like this, it doesn't do any good for him. He's a guy who you could really push and do something with. Unfortunately, they're not. And Devil Inside, he at least when he hit the Devil Inside suplex, it looked really devastating because of how big Huxley is, and when he came down, it was a lot of momentum and everything. So I mean, at least it looked good. Good win for Devlin, but it just sucks for Huxley because, like we said,
like you said, like how he just pushed, like he actually like put him towards him, and then boom, he does like the suplex, the Saito suplex or the Devil Inside, like you said, and then 1, 2, 3, he just stares at her. This was a little dumb though, like Huxley's like, oh no, get away, but the Ace wins, everybody's just happy. That's fine. Are we seeing like maybe Jordan Devlin going against Walter? Is that in the possibility?
I mean, they did hint at on commentary. They did say he was a cruiserweight champ, but he's so good he could go after any championship, whether it's Heritage Cup, the NXT UK Championship, and even Nigel said he could also go after any championship NXT stateside. He said he's that good. He didn't say Karrion Kross or Bronson Reed, but he didn't name names over there, but he said any championship over there. So who knows what they're going to do with Jordan Devlin. See, I don't know if I would go after Walter because to me, as good as he is, he's that level right underneath the Rampage Brown, the Dragunov, the Joe Coffey. He's not on that level just yet.
Yes, exactly. So maybe, never know. But like I said, like the main event picture is those three guys. So talking about kind of galas, then we got to see both of the guys, Wolfgang and the other Coffey, just talking about Sid Scala. And they say, hey, we won matches because we did tag. How about we prove each other? We prove ourselves in singles. And unfortunately, Gradwell shows up. What up, mates? So yeah, you got to see both of the Gala's members like, oh, I want him. So actually, Wolfgang is going to get him first. So, I mean, poor Gradwell. He's another jobber. He only knows how to win against Mastiff. But, it was okay. We're going to see this next week.
I mean, I would love to see Gradwell go over. Gallus' theme aside, because I love the theme, I like them when they were more serious. I don't know why Joe Coffey is really the only one who can be serious, and these two guys. What is that stupid hat that Wolfgang wears, where his hair is coming out of the hay? He looks like a Muppet. You know what I mean? He looks like he should be on Sesame Street. Like these guys used to be super legit. Now they're like goofy. I'm like, they would fit right in on AEW the way they act goofy. I want to see them be a little more serious, like Joe Coffey is.
They should join the Dark Order.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, this match, but all them trying to be funny and everything aside, this match would be good. I like Wolfgang and I like Gradwell, but I think Gradwell should go over.
Hopefully, that would be good because that way at least Gradwell gets some wins because he's a singles guy. He only knows how to lose. Give him a win, Wolfgang, he's more like a tag guy, so that's fine. So now let's talk about, like, we got a tag match before the main event to get us ready for that. Pretty Deadly are, NXT tag team champions, like they were going to be on commentary for that, and it was Symbiosis. Symbiosis with Eddie Dennis, and then they went against Wild. And the other name, unfortunately, it skips my mind, but it was just, enhancement talent. Why? Because Symbiosis, they need to just, get some hype, because it seems like that they're going to be in the feud with Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, this match, it was pretty good. Symbiosis, they dominated early on, and then you thought, okay, they get the momentum, they hit the big move, okay, put this away. No, the other, like you said, the team that's really just two guys who they threw together, two like newbies in NXT UK. The names, they didn't even stick in our minds because we thought, okay,
Wild
this will
is
just
the one.
yeah, we thought, okay, this will just be a quick, squash match, 2-3 minutes. The tag team champs will put over Symbiosis on commentary a little bit, but still put themselves over mostly and whatever. But no, this match to me won the baby faces, you could say. When they started making the comeback, way too long. There was no reason for them to get that much offense on Symbiosis and everything. This should have been quick, 5 minutes, boom, ended. Instead, it was maybe 10 minutes, 8 minutes, too long for me, but at least Symbiosis won.
And, Pretty Deadly was on commentary. They were trying to enhance this. This wasn't that great, at least. But you see, like the feud is going to be there between Pretty Deadly and Symbiosis. Primate and T-Bone.
The only thing with that is it's too. And I like when you had this picture. T-Bone, when he slammed down whoever that guy was, way too far away.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
That is actually family for you because, like Paul always says, we got to deliver the best content. Andy, Wild, and Dan Maloney. There you go.
Yeah. Well, Wild or whoever that is on the ground there, way too far away. Primate couldn't even make the headbutt, So, like, as soon as he was about to hit it, they did a camera cut so you couldn't see that his head actually, landed more next to his head than actually, somewhat connected. But, they get the big win. But it should have came a lot sooner. And I don't know if I like this feud because it's heel versus heel. So it's like, who am I supposed to?
I don't know. Do they have tell me like a baby face team? Like they don't really have.
I mean, you had Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, but now they're doing the subculture thing. So
there's no culture.
Yeah, Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams, and now they're split up. So it's like,
so and we're gonna talk about Ashton Smith in like a little bit. So like this is gonna be. We'll see. I mean, Pretty Deadly. They need feuds. They need challengers. Imperium will be good. You see.
I mean, the only thing. I mean, and we did just see it, but I mean, you had Jack Stars and Nathan Frazier, but you just did that, and no build for that or anything.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that. So, like you said, in the end, Primate and T-Bone, Symbiosis get the win. Eddie Dennis is happy. Everybody's happy, I guess, in that division because there's no really baby faces. So let's talk about Tio Man and the guys that sees everything. That's how we watch. That's why we give you the names and everything. Every detail. That's how we watch a freaking show. He's talking about Ashton Smith, like I said, and this rivalry that he had. He got the other name, that one escapes my mind, but, like he's going to feud the other guy. That's like one of the things is going to happen. And what do you think of Tio Mando? I like, like this, like 40s vibe, European style with like, the dinner, the candles. I like Tio Man.
Yeah, I like it all, but if you actually listen to everything he says, it almost doesn't make sense. Like when, Roman first turned heel and he was talking, you're like, it sounds good. But when you actually listen and read, if you wrote down all the words and read it out loud, it really doesn't make sense because he's just like, I do this for my family. My family's happy and they're well fed, but he's sitting there by himself. See, maybe if you had his wife and his kids or something and it was actually like in his house and you not like, a happy family, but you could tell like he rules and he's the provider of this family and you still have that gothic kind of like you said, 40s vibe and everything. But he's just sitting there by himself, and he's just like, Ashton Smith, you fight for your tag partner. He's not even family, blah, blah, blah. That's why you'll lose. I have my eye on everything. And it's like, what? Like, what is it? It all sounds cool, but like, it actually doesn't really make sense. But I still like him. And see, that's the thing. When these WWE writers, when they write these promos for a lot of these guys, sometimes it just doesn't come off good.
Unless the family is himself. You know what I mean? Unless because he's not alone, that he thinks he has family. And the family.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Unless you're doing something like that where he's like crazy and
like
he like
weird.
maybe
exactly. Like, look at my family.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're doing that, then cool. Otherwise, it comes off a little weird right now.
Exactly. So maybe that's the purpose. But like you said, it absolutely makes sense. If you're wondering, That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
So
they have
like,
me.
we
They
got
have
a
at
good
the end
pick.
of the day, they have me intrigued. I don't like hate Tio Man. It's like, okay, I want to see where they keep going with this.
Exactly. So that's what it is. So for main event, let's talk about this. Was actually the best thing that happened in this show and a lot of shows, especially this week. Kaylee Ray, Meiko Satomura, finally, like the second clash that they had. Pretty good match. Did you like the first one better or this one?
Oh no, I like this one a lot better, and not even just because of the
The
winner,
winner.
but I mean it a lot of time. I think they had 20. I'm gonna say almost
They're,
20, like
it
22,
started out
23 minutes.
at like 3:30, so like a lot of time.
Yeah, they had a lot of time for this match. This was really good. You had Mako, she started off hot, taking over. Eventually, Kaylee Ray, slowed it down and everything. But, and she worked her methodical pace. The only thing I really didn't like was, well, there was two things I didn't like. But, I don't know if this happened before or after, but I like when they were hitting each other's finisher. Kaylee Ray hit the Death Valley driver, then Mako hit the Gory Bomb. But, she couldn't really pin her after she hit the Gory Bomb because she was selling the Death Valley driver. So that was good. It's like, oh, okay, she didn't really get to capitalize on that. But then they started doing, with Mako, she got, I think like a forearm or something, and then she came back up and they were just exchanging the forearms, but it was real
And
slow.
super kicks too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that, and then the super kicks. I don't like when they just boom exchange forearms and they no sell it and they just stand there and look at each other.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, that was Roy after all this big.
Yeah,
sequence.
yeah, I
that
didn't
was
like that.
Kind of like to prepare you for the end. Yeah.
And then, like you said, when she was selling the super kick, she ate like 3 or 4 super kicks. Then she hit like a big DDT and everything. So it's like, there was a couple just like with that. But that's just like minor nitpicks. It was almost like a New Japan match, kind of like the wrestling like that style.
You just told the line that I was going to use because that's how it felt like. Yes.
But I mean, this was really good. And then when Kaylee Ray, she hits the Gory Bomb, and you're like, oh my god, this is it. Mako kicks out, and Kaylee Ray's like, you know what? I'm done. Screw this. She grabs her belt. She's like, I'm out of here. She's walking away. Then Mako's like, nah, I don't think so. They're going at it on the outside. Then you had like in the picture there the Gory Bomb on the apron. And then she goes up top for the senton. She hits the senton. And see, that's a moment where, like, if the crowd was there, they would have been like, oh, man, this is it. Kaylee Ray's going to win. There's no way she's going to kick out of a Gory Bomb on the apron and a senton. She does. And then that would have been a moment the crowd would have exploded. Like I said, this would have been perfect for the crowd. And then, and you had in the picture the sunset flip, power bomb off the corner there. That was really good. A 2 count and everything. And this match, I just love how they kept hitting their signatures. Like, Mako kicked out of another Gory Bomb, and then she hit the Death Valley driver. Mako on Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray kicked out of that. But eventually,
look good, Paul. I'm sorry that I'm cutting you off, but
no.
When she did like the crossface, and Kaylee Ray looked like she was going like, like she was passing out. So that was cool.
They sold it good. And speaking of selling it good, real early in the match, Kaylee Ray, she like jumped off the middle rope and delivered like a knee drop. And even Kaylee Ray's face out there, I was like, ooh man, that was a little stiff, that knee drop. But back to the ending, this match was good. She hit the Death Valley driver. She set her up. The Scorpio Rising 1, 2, 3, and it was great, just the way, we're not only great, like, we got to thank Kaylee Ray being a legit champion. That's how you do it. And, WWE main roster, take notes. That's how you present a champion.
Yes.
And, I just love how Mako sold this match. She kept looking at the ref, holding up 3 fingers, like, 3, did I win? And it's like, Mako, they're playing your music. Come on. Like, yes, of course you won. But,
for a second, I thought that, like, they were actually made a mistake.
Yeah, but I just love how, like, she was really selling it, and even
excitement that she had,
selling
she couldn't really believe it. She couldn't believe that what she just did.
And speaking of selling it, Nigel during this match,
my God,
he was losing it. Like that's how you get a match over.
More Ronaldo, like he channeled his inner more Ronaldo right there. Goes, oh my God, Kaylee Ray kicked out. Kaylee Ray, oh, Meiko Satomura, new champion.
Yeah, I mean, but this was good, and this match, what I mean. And I couldn't have done it any better. Besides maybe taking out, the big forearms, and I love this. I don't think she actually knew there was going to be like the fire, not the fireworks, but like the streamers, confetti, whatever. Because when that went off, like you saw her face, she was kind of like shocked, and then had like a real big smile, and it looked like she was almost like breaking down there.
She was crying for a bit.
Yeah, so I mean, this I think it really solidifies how legit she is, putting her over, because even though this brand is technically in the grand scheme of things the smallest brand in WWE besides 205, 205 Live, our smallest show rather. To me, this is the most legit show they have.
Yeah.
So she's the most legit woman in WWE because she's, the champion on the most legit show. So,
Yes, and
this
also
was
like
great.
remember what they said, right? Like they said, what is the one thing that she hasn't done? Whole goal in the WWE. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
She has it now, and yeah, like the match, everything that you said, I agree on. And one thing I really love is when they steal the finishers because that to me gives
Yes.
me like the old school vibe. Remember when The Rock will do the Stone Cold Stunner, and then you see a Stone Cold doing the Rock Bottom, things like that. Like the Choke Slam will do Triple H, and then the Undertaker will do like the pedigree, like things like that. They will.
Yeah.
That to me like mean like a big event, like a big thing, man, like match because you are stealing like the other person's like finishers. That is something that they don't do anymore, and I'm glad that like they always bring it back for like this kind of matches.
Mm.
Kaylee Ray, like you said, 600 days and even more as a champion. We got to thank her for that. One of the longest reigns that we haven't seen in the modern era. And like you said, she lost to a woman that like is called the final boss. What else do you want to like lose a championship, And Meiko deserves it. No other question. She came to this brand, enhanced the level of this division. So now she's going to even enhance it even better because, like you said, there's so many women that can be challenging for that belt.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope she has a long title reign. I don't know if with her, like the plans they have for her, I don't know if she'll hold it for a 600 days, but I hope she doesn't, lose it in the first title defense and they, okay, now let's get you on Raw or SmackDown or, NXT stateside or something. I want to see her, go through a lot of these women. I would say a good first feud would maybe be like an Isla Dawn, beat her, okay, legit. Eventually she should run through all the women and then like we said, the last one, Eva Valkyrie, boom, she puts her over.
Eva, the next big match in that division is going to be Eva and Meiko, and then
yeah, but like I said, I would do that. I would do that. I would do that. Not soon. I would go.
No,
go through
like,
all the women.
That like for maybe towards the end of the year.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Do
Towards
something
the end
like
of the
that.
year, and something when you can actually have crowds because a lot of in America we're beating COVID, so like there's more crowds. SummerSlam they're going to make it a big deal. I'm hearing they're going to make it. Although Manny Pacquiao's fight is going to be in the same day. Good job WWE. So we don't know how to book like Impact. The guy that books Impact on Saturdays on the same night of WrestleMania, same guy. So same thing. But Paul, like where does Kelly Ray go from now? You think NXT America main roster? Because here's the one report I heard: Piper Niven might be debuting with Eva Marie on Monday Night Raw as her muscle.
I mean, I don't think that's really. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's a lot. Nia Jax is over, so maybe Piper will get over too. But see, I don't know. That's like two of the the same kind of women, same build and everything. So I don't know. I would have rather saw her on SmackDown. Piper Niven if you're gonna do that. But Kaylee Ray, I mean, I would. It's hard to say. I mean, she would make any division she goes to better, whether it's NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, if you use her to her potential like they did here in NXT UK.
Yes.
But I mean, otherwise, no. I mean, I don't think, which I mean, hey, they did, if the rumors are true, they did it with Piper, but I think Kaylee Ray should have some kind of send off. It should kind of be like, oh, thank you, you were legit, whatever. Like, where she gets like a moment in the ring, like Shawn won the match, but Ric Flair like stayed in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, do something like that with her. Yeah.
She is so well deserved. Like, if they will do that, we'll see what happens, So we will see in next show, we're going to change the whole setup of things, where like we're going to actually make it a little better for every single one of you. But in the end, we are really happy because Meiko Satomura finally has goal in the WWE. I thought she was not going to be the champion. I can tell you that for sure. Like when she first initially came to the WWE, not because of her ability, but just thinking, maybe like twilight of her career, maybe they're not going to do it. But seeing like the progress that she had in the matches, especially the first one with Kaylee Ray, I'm like, yeah, they're going to do it. And I'm glad that they did it. And now, like you said, they have a plethora of people like to use against her. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. And then Eva is going to be like the next challenger, the big one. Because you said Isla Dawn can be there. You have Dani Luna. You have Ginny. You have all these girls that like actually deserve an opportunity. So pretty good show, Paul. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Next week is going to be, kind of like, remember, when we had a big show, then we got kind of like a refresher. Hey, we're still here. Just wait another 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got to have like a cool down. Like you have the real hot show, then you got to have the cool down, and then you can get hot again.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, family, thank you so very much for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe. Please help us out to get to that 1,000. We're 22 away. Help us out there. Also, like, comment, give the video a like so more people can expose to the original rubric. Tomorrow, don't forget SmackDown. And where else can they find us, Paul?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Family, we'll see you tomorrow. You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...